I've met the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. I've never seen her before.
Right, welcome everybody to another episode of the Love Island cast. I am one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris. It's great to speak to you again. And as predicted, we can't stay away for 2 fucking days. So we watched episode 2 and it's like, oh, it's hotting up a bit now. Let's get on. So where do you want to start today?
I think we're going to have to start, Dave, with the man who's holding all the cards at the moment. He's Barnett. I mean, he's got 3 girls chasing him. He's got Jessica, Amber, and he's got Elsie. And I mean, Jessica, I wasn't feeling it, obviously, when I mentioned it in yesterday's show. She's doing herself no favours as far as I can see. She literally didn't get the answer she wanted and then just shits all over him. And, I must admit, Dave, I don't know what it is, but I'm not a big fan of Amber at the moment. I don't know whether I warmed her through the series, but there's just something not right about her either. But she literally went, oh, well, you fuck yourself, Jessica, I'm going in there now. She definitely knew what she was doing.
Well, there's a lot to unpack there. So let's start off with, I mean, Barnett. If this was a regular dating show, if this was Love Island, right, he would have his pick, wouldn't he? He's a tasty-looking dish. He's got the chat. He's got everything. And it's interesting that even without the looks, he's still doing quite well for himself, even though he's doing that, again, a bit like Love Island when they've got a triangle or a square or anything going on. It's like, oh no, how rubbish is my life? Remember Tommy when he had all these women flocking around him? It's like, oh, my life's so bad. Oh yeah, really. So, but I tell you what, old 34-year-old Jessica there, it did make me laugh because we talked about it yesterday, didn't we? Why would Barnett say something like, I think tomorrow I'll propose to you? Just, as Yoda would say, do or not do. There is no try, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, do it. If not, keep your fucking gob shut. So when he said it yesterday, I thought, there's something not right there. And as predicted, Jessica's getting all coy. Even though, I mean, she's playing both sides. She's playing Mark off. And obviously that went a different way later in the episode, but she's talking them both up. So she's absolutely keeping her options open. But when she's asking him, like, do you still feel the same way? So yesterday you said you were going to propose tomorrow. Today is tomorrow. So are you going to propose? And he's like, no. And I tell you what, Chris, she did not like that. Fucking hell. She was a woman scorned then, wasn't she?
Yeah, and look, I think you're right, and I don't like her, but I will say Barnett shouldn't be saying any of that shit. What you've just said is right. You don't do that. It's like telling a kid, innit, we're going to Blackpool tomorrow. Oh, we're going to Blackpool in the morning. No, we're not going now. You know full well that kid is going to sulk and fucking kick off and say, you promise. Someone like this is a life-changing commitment. As much as I don't think her intentions are entirely kosher, Dave, I do think that he shouldn't have said a word. Now, whether he's trying to be Mr. Nice Guy, keep everyone happy, I'm not sure. But he played that fiddle with Elsie and with Amber. He genuinely did. And I was like, I'm not sure about it. Is he a player? Is he a bit fucking stupid that he just doesn't want to offend anyone? I can't unpack Barnett. The one thing I would say, Dave, what you're saying, him having everything, the one thing he's got, Dave, and let's be honest, he's got a load of fucking money as well. Let's not beat around the bush. He's not fucking daft. He's a successful businessman. And I feel sorry for Mark because Mark has obviously got an interest in Jessica. He's bigging her up. We keep going to the VT of him and he said, oh, she's great and all, it really gets me and all this shit. Then he plays her after she's been scorned by Barnett. And he don't play, she plays him. And I'm thinking, oh, fuck me, mate. Come on. You think a bit more of yourself. He just seems to be trying to pick the pieces up. Honestly, I really worry for this kid because I think he's very, very intense. And I think by the looks of it, he's only got eyes for Jessica. We've not really seen him go for anyone else properly. And I think the way it's going is if she does end up with Barnett, then fair fucks to her. But I honestly think Mark could walk from the show, Dave. I really do.
He's a funny one, Mark, isn't he? I said yesterday he's got his massive sort of coke eyes, and he's sort of really intense, and he seems a bit of a bro to me. And he seems to be treating it like a competition. And we haven't really seen him connect with anyone else. And the fact that they're both from Illinois, they had that initial good chat. But like you say, I'm when she's saying about effectively keeping her options open and stuff, and from the start, I've been Mark. Really? We see it all, Jessica, and you haven't been. So
Yeah.
I do feel a bit sorry for him, and I just wish he'd have, like you say, a bit of self-respect. It's hard when you're in that kind of in the eye of the storm kind of thing to see it as clearly as maybe we see it. I say that we're just seeing an edited show, but it did look like, you know, he should have just said, right, okay, go and sort your options out, and I'll do the same.
Yeah, totally with you. Totally with you. How this plays out, I do not know. Whether Barnett's going to become the bad guy of the whole series, I'm not sure. But he's coy, leaving his options open. You're juggling and you're messing with other people's relationships as well, which is obviously what this is about. You've got to go with who you're connected to. I think I'm not sure about this LC. He seems to like a chat to her. I'm not sure that any of the three girls that Barnett is actually talking to he's really into at the moment. Anyway, I'm not seeing it. I'm just seeing that they all seem to have little personality traits that appeals to him. So he's playing the game. Now, Dave.
I think he probably just wants Mrs. Potato Head, doesn't he? And then he can take bits, all the different bits that he likes, and put them together. I mean, he said LC was like a female version of him. If I'm to think of the same, I can't think of anything worse. So, just another fucking smart ass. But no, I don't know. Which way is he gonna go? I can't call it, but there's just something that I really, really don't like about Jessica. There's just something hugely superficial about her. And it's all me, me, me. And I didn't really like, although, like I say, he shouldn't be saying shit like that. I'm going to propose to you, then not. But the way she just fucking went in there and was just bad mouthing him and, fucking destroying him. You say you don't like the way Amber treated that. I quite liked it, to be honest. It's like, well, when people, we've seen it on Love Island, haven't we? When people relay these stories, they are never 100% accurate to what we saw. It is always with a bias to make the other person look like a twat.
Yeah, and Dave, that's not on this show. That's in real life. If you've got two friends who are together, so say, a friend of yours and a friend of mine's together, they split up. My friend comes to me. They are not going to make themselves look like a see you next Tuesday, are they? They're going to come and say that other person drove them to it. They were a wanker, blah, blah, blah. As in your friend would come to you. And I've come across this loads of times when I've had friends on my side and Sam's side who've got together, or family members and various fans got together. And somewhere in the middle is the fucking truth. And you are so right, Dave. I've got to stand myself corrected slightly. That is exactly what was going on there. However, I mean, Jessica just gets fucking wasted by the looks of it, Dave. In these two shows so far, she's fucking wankered, isn't she? So I think the truth is coming out, but not in the correct way. However, I don't know about this Amber, Dave. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling it completely at all. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
There were two moments in the episode tonight that got me with a bit of a lump in my throat, to be honest. And one of them was Amber. When she was talking about the story, when she was with, the person she was with, who she thought she was going to be with for the rest of her life. And obviously, again, taking exactly what you've just said there, she's telling her side of the story, but it sounded like, she got pregnant. The guy wanted to get rid of it. Sounded like she had a bit of depression after that, and he just told her to get on with it. When she was relaying that story, fucking hell, I found it heartbreaking, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, Dave, let's be honest. It's a very, very difficult subject to talk about on anything. As in, for your own, if you're going in a popularity contest, it's going to divide opinions anyway, Dave, isn't it? Let's be honest. I don't want to touch on it too much, but in the same respect, it's something she brought up, and we have to talk about it slightly, is that is if you're saying that and laying that on the line, and then, you know, if anything does happen, she gets with somebody down the line, then fair enough. You know what I mean? That's fantastic that you can come through the other side. And depression obviously has played a big part. And she looked like she'd been slightly railroaded into it, didn't she, Dave? And she felt she had no option.
Yeah.
How that unravels in her personality as this show goes on, I'm not sure. But yeah, it was quite interesting that she did reveal that. That's like one of your darkest secrets. Now, talking about people's secrets, Dave, that they have buried, if you're going to get engaged or married to anybody, man, woman, dog, cat, snake, whatever you're going to get married to, you would obviously tell them everything, wouldn't you, Dave? If you want that to last and you want them to trust you and believe in you for the rest of your life, you know, till death do us part, I'm pretty sure you should be telling that person about your sexual orientation as such. Now, Carlton, again, I said to you, I wasn't feeling him in yesterday's show. I am definitely not feeling him. And his justification for not telling Diamond that he, you know, he's had relationships with men, not that there's any issue with that, but he's still got baggage with it. There's still something there he needs to talk to somebody about. And he's like, I'm going to ask her to marry her, blah, 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 which he obviously does, but then justified the fact that he's going to tell her after they're engaged. And I'm thinking, no sane person who's ever been in any relationship that's lasted longer than fucking 2 weeks or 6 months would go down this route. That is one of the worst game plans you could pull out the bag, Dave. I mean, what do you think? But TV-wise, brilliant. Fucking thought process-wise, I was thinking, you dick.
It's not going to go well, is it? I mean, let's face it. I mean, this is the first show that I think I've ever seen. I don't know, in your repertoire of reality TV shows, I don't know if there's another one where you're going to get married and then, you know, reveal something like that. But it did have me pondering one thing, Chris, because I think there is possibly a male-female divide here. Yeah. Because if roles were reversed, do you think she is going to react the same way a bloke could react? Bearing in mind, I'm not talking about like 20-year relationship. I'm not talking about like you and Sam or anything. But, you know, on this show, if it happened and she said, I know, I used to date men and women, right? He'd have his fucking clothes off. He'd be a fucking fork on, sat on the sofa. Right, where is she?
Dave, let's be honest here. Fuck the PC stuff. We'd all be doing that, wouldn't we? We'd be wanting details, wouldn't we? So what was she like then? What was the measurements? You know, how did you go on? You know, yeah, we would. Folks are just squeezing. Let's be honest. They are. Fucking, we are. Yeah, it's probably the first thing I would ask myself, Dave. So you're right.
I'm just being honest, right? Every bloke would ask the same question.
There was. At some point, that would come in at some point. You're totally right. However, I still think it's a conversation that the girl would have to have with the guy, Dave, before you get married. I honestly think that. I think it just come up in general conversation. I don't think, obviously, the problem is because of the stigma of men, you know, gay relationship, and then you go into a straight relationship as such. There's just some weird stigma there. I don't see the issue. He's tried it. He's tried to go with guys. He thinks he needs a relationship with a lady. He said that it offers something different that he can't get with a man. What's wrong with that, Dave? If he's faithful to her for the rest of his life, then there's no issue there at all. However, he should have just told her. Yeah. Just tell her. Don't fucking, because you're getting engaged based on a fucking lie, and you then, in my eyes, what I see it as is he's then doing this. And it's almost as if he's like, what's called, Giannia, or what she's called. She says Giannina. She has a self-destruct button, which I know we'll talk about in a minute. It's almost as if he's setting up a trap for himself straight away. So he's got to get out a jail card if the relationship fails. That's how I saw all this playing out. I genuinely think his thought process is completely wrong.
Well, I mean, cynical hat on. To get onto the next, you know, we see that they get out of, I want to say the villa, the rooms, right? So to get through to the next round, they have to propose. and they have to, get engaged. So if you say that, and then every girl has a problem with it, you're not going through to the next round.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to me. Something so huge, and it seems to be, again, we were saying yesterday, we don't know like kind of how much time has passed. It's clearly quite a lot. It's clearly throughout the day as well, because sometimes you see him, like Giannina was dressed to the nines, as was Damien, wasn't he? Dressed up in a suit. I don't know why. I think I'd be in my fucking pajamas, me, all day. What are you fucking getting dressed up for? But, sometimes they are in the pajamas and just like half asleep, especially that Barnett. So, they've obviously had quite a lot of conversation and talked about a wide range of stuff. To intentionally not talk about something so huge that that she could have a problem. And to get her to make that decision without that information just seems it seems misleading to me. And I think I'd say the same. If it was the woman, who dated women before, there's nothing wrong with it. But it's quite a big thing for someone, in a couple to wrap their head around.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I mean, Dave, great TV. Great TV, because it's making me want to watch the third one now. I'm dying to get on it after this episode.
Oh, mate, it's fucking yeah. Like I say, it got me in right at the last 5% of episode 1, but this episode stepped it up a bit more.
Oh,
It
fantastic!
Got me twice, emotionally, but then I was liking a bit of the drama as well. And as much as we were saying about Jessica, she's kind of good entertainment as well, isn't she?
Yeah, she is, to be fair. Now, my last little thing I wanted to talk about, Dave, is Giannina and Damien. Let's be honest, Dave. Damien, he's a boring fucker for me. Don't like him.
Yeah.
It's just fucking boring, and he's too serious. I don't get him. I don't get what's going on there. She seems quite immature in herself. I'm just only 25, but she seems like she's been quite babied and protected. He just is fucking boring for me. I don't see it in them at all as a relationship. I really don't.
No, I'm not buying it either. I mean, certainly on the outside, you wouldn't have seen them. You wouldn't have pictured them together. Every time I see her, though, she looks like Drew Barrymore to me. She's really got that kind of look about her. He just seems like a corporate clone, probably works in sales, travels a lot. I can't actually remember. They do flash up on the bottom of the screen, don't they, what their jobs are, but I can't remember. But he just...
General manager, Dave.
General manager? What the fuck is a general manager?
I don't know. I mean, he actually lives in Germany.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Before we come on air, right? Yeah, Heidelberg, Germany. I had to research it because I thought he's fucking boring, this guy. So I don't know what's going on there. If that does last or whatever it is, or they get with someone else, I don't know. He's a very, very. He's just a boring fucker for me. Really weird relationship. Really weird. But we did see at the start, David, and we haven't really touched on that, was Cameron and Lauren properly proposed and got together. I mean, it looks good, Dave. It looks cute. It looks sincere. I wasn't really questioning it as such. I think there's something there, and I just hope that these guys sort of make it as such, because I think the pretense of the show, it'll be nice to at least have one fucking relationship that looks half real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just looking at my notes now, and my eye had missed it, but I've wrote down very sweet for Cameron and Lauren. I thought it was a touching moment, that one.
Yeah, it was good. Again, Dave, great episode. Exactly what we wanted, and exactly why people were asking us, wanting to get on it. Fucking brilliant. I'm literally, as soon as we finish this, I'm going to watch the third one.
Yeah.
So we're ready for the recording again. So I'll see you in about an hour when we're recording the third
one. We're going to try and not sabotage ourselves and fucking have us knackered again because we've been doing it so often. But no, it is good. It's got me. It got me right at the end of the first. Episode 2, even better. And I am waiting to get on to the next one now.
And also, you're right. And I do want to thank all our friends on social media. I know you guys have watched it, and nobody fair and square has ruined anything for us, Dave, which is fantastic. So thank you, guys. And as I've just said, if you do want to follow us at Love Island Cast, or you want to email in the loveislandcast@gmail.com, and if you can, try and play the game with me and Dave, because I know a lot of people listen to the Love Island stuff and sometimes they don't watch the show or they're behind, but they catch up on what we do. And obviously we do spoil it because we're doing it concurrently. This is us being in the weaker position of not actually watching it and having any hindsight. So if there is any questions you want to ask us in relation to the episodes that we've watched, or for episode 3 that we're going to be watching the next day, really, before the next show comes out, then please get in contact with us, because it's been a really, really good show so far. So, and also get onto your podcast catching up, guys. And if it isn't iTunes, then please drop us a line and we'll find it and we'll read your review out for myself and Dave. So thank you very much, Dave, again for another great episode.
Thank you very much, sir. And I shall see you tomorrow.
Bye now.